As we approach Resurrection Day in this morning's Breakfast Bible Bites, we need to see that the wrath of God against all sin is on display through Christ's propitiatory sacrifice. Luke 22:66 reads, "At daybreak, all of the leaders of the people assembled, including the leading priests and the teachers of religious law, and Jesus was led before this high council." At daybreak, Jesus was taken before the high priest, which means that he was sleep deprived since he had been awake for at least 24 hours. According to Matthew 26:67, then they spat in Jesus' face and hit him with their fist, and some slapped him. Desiring to put Jesus to death, these religionists, in their misconstrued representation of God, fast-tracked Jesus over to Pilate. And Pilate, finding no fault in Jesus, desired to release him. But the Pharisees, who were instigating the mob, insisted that he be put to death. We read in John 19:1, then Pilate had Jesus flogged with a lead-tipped whip. Not only do we have a man suffering from sleep deprivation, beaten, slapped, and humiliated, but now flogged with a bone-tipped lead whip. Both beaten and flogged, the hatred of sinful mankind toward God was not yet satisfied. Conversely, God, by allowing this exhibition, was expressing his own wrath against human rebellion and wanton sin. Matthew 27:27 through 31 reads, some of the governor's soldiers took Jesus into the headquarters and called out the entire battalion. They stripped him and put a scarlet robe on him. They made a crown of long, sharp thorns and put it on his head, and they placed a stick in his right hand as a scepter. Then they knelt before him in mockery, yelling, "Hail, King of the Jews!" And they spat on him and grabbed the stick and beat him in the head with it. When they were finally tired of mocking him, they took off the robe and put his own clothes on him again, and then led him away to be crucified. So callous is the hatred of fallen humanity against our Creator that the soldiers brought out the entire battalion to mock and further maul Jesus. Is it any wonder that Isaiah 52:14 tells us that many were amazed when they saw him, beaten and bloodied, so disfigured one would scarcely know he was a person? Jesus suffered this abuse on our behalf so that the wrath of God against sinful and rebellious humanity would be appeased. He did this for you and me. He took our place on the cross.